Hey guys, Jujubear here, welcome back to the channel. Now I've had a couple of battles sent to me by Erlich from the Sith clan. Big thanks to him for sending them in, by the way. Now we've got a 2v2 on our hands. I'm going to be showing two from Erlich. The first of which is going to be Erlich versus and Klucky. Now they're going to be in a team versing some randoms in a 2v2. So Erlich is going to be playing as the ARDIAEI and Klucky is going to be playing as MASSILIA. Now MASSILIA, look at this. The sheer amount of Jujubear Lancers here. We got 5 of them. We got Axe Warriors up the back for days. 5 of them. We got a Massilian Hoplite. Up the back we got Celtic Warriors. Looks like 5 of them. And we got 4 Celtic Slingers. Not a bad army at all. Now 4 Slave Slingers for Erlich here. We got an Illyrian Marine. We got 3 Mercenary Axe Warriors. We got 3 Illyrian Hoplites. 2 Mercenary Peltasts. And 4 Illyrian Noble Hoplites up the back. They're in Hoplite Wall at this point. So, oh, and we've also got 3 Tarantine Cav. Not a bad pick at all. That's pretty interesting. I've seen this build done before. This kind of like very narrow but deep kind of formation. I've seen it brought a couple of times by Bobby from the TWI clan. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. On the other side of the field, we have 4 Spear Horsemen. Heavy Spears out in the flanks. Oh, sorry, 3 of them. They're going to be helping out in the Cav engagements. We've also got 2 Folksmen who can help out in the Cav engagements quite good. 4 Dacian Heavy Bowmen, lots of money spent on that kind of group of units. Mercenary Axe Warriors in the center, Noble Swords in the flanks, and Noble Spears. Noble Spears, folks. Noble Spears as the general up the back. Going to be brought by this GETAE player. Alright, 4 Celtic Slingers up the front, 4 Levy Freemen, Chosen Swords, Oathsworn, and Chosen Spears, wow, and 2 Heavy Horse. So, if I were to guess the skill levels of all these players, I would probably say that these 2 players aren't the best players ever in the whole wide world, but cavalry counter tactics are being popped by the heavy spears, and they're going to push back these mercenary Tarantines, just boosting them up, I guess, and they're going to be scaring away those pesky Tarantines. So I'll try and do it's actually a pretty big battle here, so I'm going to try and keep myself zoomed out a fair bit just so I can keep an eye on the prize here. So we have a bit of an engagement happening with Klucky out on this flank over here. Clucky's going to be pushing Celtic Slingers up against Celtic Slingers 4 on 4. Whoever can I'm guessing whoever can focus fire better will win out this engagement here. The Levy Freeman going to be pushing from the ARVERNI player here. And it looks like the ARVERNI player is actually going to be the one to... Oh, they're both focus firing at this point, which is not a bad idea at all. Jujubear Lance are going to be committing. So it looks like if the ARVERNI player is not careful here, they could lose their entire line of Levy Freeman here. They probably will. Yes, they absolutely will. So here comes a charge from these Jujubear Lancers. Even though these guys are spears, they are light spears, so they're going to be absolutely destroyed by this charge. And a couple of these Jujubear Lancers actually make their way through to the Celtic Slingers here. So it's a little bit messy, but very effective. These front line of meat shielding units have been completely lost by the ARVERNI player. Probably wasn't expecting it to be that effective there. And we do have the Celtic Warriors coming in here as well. The Celtic Warriors are going to get a nice charge through a number of units, but what's most important here is that these Chosen Swordsmen do not get a charge. So over here they may actually get one. No, they do not. So the ARVERNI player is doing everything that every single ARVERNI player should not be doing, which is giving up your charge. So we got a nice charge coming in here onto these Noble Swords, knocking down a number of them. These Jujubear Lancers are going to carry on through. A nice little push coming in on here from the GETAE player. Illyrian Noble Hoplites are going to be coming over here, and going to have to be careful that he doesn't lose these Spear Horsemen. Yep. A wise move from the GETAE player here. We've got these Slave Slingers up the front, very cheap units. They're going to keep on pulling back away from the Mercenary Axe Warriors. Very disjointed formation here. No cavalry to really punish these Mercenary Axe Warriors though. Looks like there may come a charge here on these Nobles. Oh, thought better of it. He's going to be able to pull back. Not a bad idea. Illyrian Noble Hoplites is going to have to be careful not to get swarmed by enemy units. They could take out all of these heavy spears by themselves, but not with these Noble Swords hanging about. We do have engagements in the center here. Nice charges coming in from the Mercenary Axe Warriors against the Mercenary Axe Warriors. So a little bit of a disjointed kind of formation happening here. And these Noble Swords are being picked apart by the Mercenary Tarantines. So out in this flank, we still have these Chosen Swordsmen coming up against the enemy Celtic warriors. But it looks like the Massilian player is doing a good job at holding back, keeping reserves. But these heavy horse are going to be a real problem for the Massilian player here. Going to have to be careful and make sure that they can maybe focus fire with these Celtic slingers. That's all you really have to combat those guys. I mean, you do have Massilian Hoplites, but they have a fair bit to kind of run to get into that position. Very interesting that you get this many spears. Massilian Axe Warriors is just going to be chasing these slave slingers. They're actually quite quick. They may catch them. We do have the Dacian Heavy Bowman actually doing quite a number on the slave slingers. We do have an Illyrian Noble Hoplite getting charged in the back by these noble swords. These guys are not going to last long if they're staying in this kind of position here. We do have a bit of hope coming in the form of these Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Charge gets interrupted for some reason. Folksmen are going to be pushing up. But the rest of these noble swords are going to be coming into this engagement in the center. And they're going to be getting a lot of kills in a very short amount of time. These Folksmen are going to get shredded if they stick around for too long. If they can get the charge in here, that's going to be absolutely brutal. They're going to be pretty much paying for themselves by charging into the back of these Illyrian. Oh no, that's just a normal Illyrian Hoplite. My bad. Just disregard that completely. A good idea, very good idea. Tarantine Cav coming in here, smashing into his Dacian Heavy Bowman. These guys are light missile infantry. They are pretty good in melee combat. They can hold their own for a fair bit longer than most skirmishers can. Gonna have to make sure that you can knock out these Falksmen fairly quickly, because those guys have a very nice little juicy bonus versus large there. Ooh, Spear Horseman charging into Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Don't know how that's gonna go. Yeah, probably not the best idea. He does have a lot of cav though. He's going to have to get right around the edges and get into those mercenary peltas and slingers if he wants them to be super effective. GETAE player is going to be running out of infantry fairly soon. Though it doesn't really look like it matters. So is the ARDIAEI player. He's holding back a couple of units. It's not a bad idea at all, but yeah, we'll just come back to that in a second. We'll see how they're going. So the Massilian Hoplite General is yet to have joined the fight. We do have... Oh, nice. That is a major turning point in this battle. The Celtic Slinger is being taken out of the fight by the Hippeus Lancer. But the same could happen to the Massilian player here with these heavy horse hanging about. Looks like these Hippeus Lancers are going to turn around. Can they intercept? Doesn't look like they're going to be able to cleanly intercept, at least. They may be able to take out one heavy horse, but this other one is going to get into the rest of these Celtic Slingers and put them to sleep well and truly. The rest of these Celtic Slingers are going to be struggling to get rid of these Axe Warriors. These Hippeus Lancers really should be finishing the job. These and of course the heavy horse are actually still causing problems for the Massilian player here. So it's not actually looking too good for them. The ARVERNI player, even though he didn't get the best charges in, has actually managed to pull out quite some favorable engagements here. We do have an Oathsworn. Didn't see that in the first little initial spite, but he just have two of them. They're going to be able to do a fair bit of damage before the end of this battle's done. Axe Warriors that came around the flanks, they're going to be able to come in here. Do they have precursors? No, they don't. So they're going to have to get a nice charge in here. They're going to be useful because they're being shot in the back by this Celtic Slinger. Cleanup duties happening with these Hippeus Lancers. The ARVERNI player doesn't have the best micro because these heavy horses are just pretty much standing around playing with themselves. So it looks like the Massilian player is actually struggling to get a hold of this fight over here. We do have the Illyrian player is doing a fairly good job. These slaves, mercenary peltas are being thrown into the fight. Gets his Axe Warriors and Noble Spears. Noble Hoplites coming to the back of these Noble Spears. These guys are actually not going to do the most amount of damage. But look at this, they've just opened up their back to this enormous amount of firepower that could bear down on them. If he was able to focus fire with these Dacian Heavy Bowmen, he could finish the job off fairly quickly here. The Noble Hoplite is going to be charged by a Spear Horseman. Probably not going to be the most effective use of those Spear Horsemen. These Illyrian Hoplites are being ganged up on by a number of heavy spears and a Noble Sword here. Eventually that will go in the favor of those GETAE units, but it looks like there's still a fair amount of units left on the field from the Illyrian player here. Do have Illyrian Hoplites and a couple of Slave Slingers as well. These guys are fairly cheap. It's still unclear as to how this will go at this point. Very hard to pick it. It's actually looking okay for the Massilian player in some pockets of the battlefield. For example, we've got two Oathsworn, and they're pretty much the only units left in the field, as opposed to these Chosen Swordsmen that are about to be taken out of the fight. Fingers crossed they can get the right engagements here. Oh, brutal stuff. That's not good. Caught between a rock and an extremely hard place. These Oathsworn and Heavy Horse are going to combine to probably going to take out these Massilian Hoplites after a couple of charges. Won't take too long. Very nice use of the Hippeus Lancers. Don't know why they're in diamond formation. Not going to be super effective at applying their charge here. Though they are able to take out one of these... Wow, there's another Oathsworn there. So there's actually 3 Oathsworn. My bad. Yep, 3 Oathsworn. Wow. And we've got another Heavy Horse coming back into the fight here. The Illyrian player is struggling to get rid of what is left of this GETAE army, and he will really, judging by the sheer amount of these Dacian heavy bowmen left on the field. What are they firing at now? Don't really know, actually. Let's just put it into forward here, just so we can... Oh, nice use of the skirmishes to focus fire in on this Illyrian Noble Hoplite. Not a bad idea at all. Though these Hoplites are actually doing quite well up against these Noble Swords, and they will finish off the heavy spears as well. They're going to be able to chase off the rest of these Dacian heavy bowmen. So these Hoplites are actually been quite effective at holding on. And I would know, I just did a battle recently where I used a number of these noble Hoplites, and they did quite well. A lot of cav left on the field from the GETAE and the 2 barbarian factions here. Hippeus Lancers left as well though, and they're going to be able to get into these Dacian heavy bowmen unopposed. Just because there's been a bit of a lapse of concentration from the GETAE player. Really should be getting this Spear Horseman over here, but that's unfortunate for them, I suppose. So they're going to be losing a Dacian Heavy Bowman. They may lose the next one as well if they can't do it quick enough. That said, the ARVERNI player is getting rid of the rest of these Slave Slingers from the Illyrian player. So a fairly close battle happening here. Oh, look at this. We got Heavy Spears and the Noble Swords down to 21 men, and they are starting to crumble. We don't know what's happening there. That was actually a fleeing unit that these Spear Horsemen charged into. And they're going to get a half-hearted charge into these Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Probably going to pick themselves up a couple of kills. These are... The rest of these Slave Slingers are actually getting a couple of nice shots on these Spear Horsemen as well. So very hard to judge it at this point. We've got Chosen Swordsman, Oathsworn, 3 of them. Still fairly strong, 83, 76, and 97 left on the field. They're going to be marching their way across the field to get into combat with what is left of these Illyrian units here. So definitely a very close battle. Did not expect it to be this close initially. Of course, when you're playing up against 2 barbarian factions like, you know, GETAE and ARVERNI, you can always expect that it's going to be a pretty close fight just because these barbarian factions are very strong. Especially in the hands of people who know how to use them. It doesn't look like these 2 players are the best players in the world, but they did use them fairly effectively. So these Dacian heavy bowmen must be out of ammo at this point because they were thrown into the fight. Probably not the best idea because that is going to take this balance of power bar in the favor of the Illyrians. A detachment of heavy horse are going to be coming in here against these Illyrian Marines. Not a bad idea. He really should be pulling out because these guys are braced. Yep, not a bad idea. Good idea. We do have Peltas. Don't know if they're out of ammo at this point. Yep, looks like they are. They've got their swords out. So we do have Illyrian Hoplites, Illyrian Noble Hoplites, Illyrian Hoplites, Noble Hoplite, Noble Hoplite. So pretty even at this point. We do have some skirmishes, not a whole lot. We have Nobles also left on the field. Looks like we got 4 Nobles for the Illyrians. But the enemy team does have Cav. I keep saying the enemy team, but well, I suppose in this case it is because we're watching this from the perspective of Erlich from the Sith clan. I didn't really see too many Sith clan members. I have to be honest. Erlich is one of the guys that I do see online quite a bit, but I haven't seen too many other Sith clan members, to be brutally honest. So we got a bit of a stalemate. I guess both players are going to be resting up their troops. We do have fresh units from the Illyrian player here. Still got their general, imperatively. But then again, so does the ARVERNI player as well. They are fresh. Everyone is fresh. We're ready. Why are we standing around? Come on, guys. Come on. Winded and active. Of course, the Cav is going to be a little bit tired. So we've got the Slave Slingers are going to be opening fire on... I guess, what are they targeting at this point? Yeah, sure, they're going to be targeting the Oathsworn. If they got the ammo to do that, then they can, I suppose. Not going to be getting the most amount of kills because they are firing from the front. But not a bad idea nonetheless. The morale on these guys has just been absolutely right down there. I guess they do have a base morale of like 25. That's not very good at all. A lot of kills in these Noble Hoplites, though. 200. 46. 156. Not bad at all. The Heavy Horse, 200 and 169. 246 and 233 kills on these Oathsworn. Of course, you could expect nothing less from the Oathsworn, really, judging by the sheer amount of money that you pay for them. Bit of a slow end to the battle here. I guess they're going to be sizing each other up. If the ARVERNI player can get their charges off, this may work to their advantage here. Or Precursors coming in here on the Mercenary Peltas. Interesting choice of target there. I suppose that's going to take the balance bar in their favor if they do take that Peltas. Well, I guess it's still in the favor of the Illyrians, and it probably would be. Judging by sheer numbers, they actually do have more. Heavy Horse are going to be pushing on the flanks. I guess pulling the attention of the Illyrian player to the back. Doesn't look like he's going to fall for it, though. We got a bit of a switcheroo happening here. Hoplite Wall being popped on these. Oh, actually, Hoplite Wall's being popped on a lot of these units. I just noticed Illyrian Hoplites here with Hoplite Wall. These guys do have expert charge defense, but I don't know how useful that's going to be up against a unit like Oathsworn. It's got such a high charge bonus. What is it? 35. Insane. So got a little bit of a cheeky charge in here on the Illyrian Marines. They were braced, so he's going to lose that Heavy Horse if he's not careful. Down to 10 men there. Illyrian Noble Hoplites also going to Hoplite Wall. Bit of a feint happening. We do have a charge that's just been activated by these Oathsworn on the enemy Noble Hoplites. A nice charge coming to the back of those that unit, and they're going to have to use that that opportunity to get a nice charge in with these Oathsworn. Battle Rhythm's been popped. They're going to be able to mow their way through this unit, and he's going to have to get a Hammer and Anvil strike back in here. And man, napping, absolutely napping here from the ARVERNI player. Didn't get their charges in with a lot of these Oathsworn. It chose actually last minute charges coming in here. Not bad at all. Though there's Chosen Swordsman, are going to get taken out by these Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Looks like he's going to be able to wrap around the edges and get a nice charge into the rear here. If he can do that, he'll be able to take out a lot of these Oathsworn. Oh man, an absolute lapse of concentration from this ARVERNI player. What was he doing? Tragic stuff. No good. Oathsworn over here, doing an absolute number on these Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Looks like we got another Hammer and Anvil strike from these Spear Horsemen. And that's going to be able to take out one Illyrian Noble Hoplite. But it doesn't look like it's really going very well in the other parts of the battlefield, really. It's coming down to a couple of different units, though. Nice charge coming into the back of this Oathsworn. Sandwich between an Illyrian Noble Hoplite and an Illyrian Noble... Illyrian Hoplite and an Illyrian Noble Hoplite. Illyrian Marines are going to be charging into the back of these Oathsworn here. Down to 48 men. Sorry, 42 men. So this is really where the killing power of the Illyrian troops is. Though the GETAE are about to lose their last unit on the battlefield in the form of these Spear Horsemen. Looks like they just stabilized. I don't know what's going on here, man. Charging into the... Oh, okay, must have been buggy formation. So it looks like they kind of swapped over positions. And these Illyrian Noble Hoplites are going to be struggling to get rid of these Oathsworn. The Heavy Horse charge kind of through the back of their own men. But these Oathsworn over here with 26 men are going to start to fail. We do have some Heavy Horse left in the field. He's going to have to start charging back and forth into the fray here. Nice rear charges coming in from the ARVERNI and the GETAE player at the same time. It's going to prove fruitless, though. Just because the Oathsworn in the center did collapse. Looks like the Oathsworn in the center over here is going to collapse as well. And the Oathsworn general of the ARVERNI is going to be the last ARVERNI player or unit standing in this battlefield if these Heavy Horse don't go down in the next couple of seconds. Spear Horsemen desperately trying to take out these Illyrian Hoplites. Nothing's working for him so far. Good idea chucking him into Shield Wall. They'll probably be able to pick up another couple of kills. How many kills? 257. Holy shitballs. But it looks like that's game, set, and match here. Oathsworn are probably going to be picking up another couple of kills, but once the enemy gets a couple of units into the back of them, that'll be kind of like game over there. So the Illyrian unit, the Illyrian players is happy to kind of hold off and contain their units for the moment. And it's an Illyrian victory there. Costly victory. So Erlich also, playing as the ARDIEI. Jeez, I'm calling them Illyrians this whole match. And Klucky also from the Sith clan, playing as the Massilians. Good job from the Illyrian Noble Hopper. He's getting a lot of kills there. The Mercenary Axe Warriors going pretty much 1-to-1 with the enemy Axe Warriors. Slave Slingers probably not being used super effectively. Desi and Heavy Bowman getting a lot more kills than you would expect, though the cavalry from ARDIAEI is not always the best or most effective, so the Tarantines really had their hands full dealing with these Spear Horsemen at that point. Peltas getting a lot of kills. Didn't realize just how many kills they got. And the Illyrian Marines getting a lot of kills, 152 double XP chevrons. They must have been taking something out that was very expensive, surely. Klucky doing an excellent job with his Hippeus Lancers, coming up against Devin Globe with the ARVERNI, doing an excellent job of nullifying these heavy horse somewhat. Holy crap, they actually ended up getting a lot of kills, I guess because they both lasted into the late game there. And also nullifying the enemy Celtic skirmishes and taking out different infantry units around the battlefield. Celtic Warriors not doing so good, or the Axe Warriors. Then again, what can you do against an ARVERNI build, really? I mean, all you have to do is get your charges off. That's all you really have to do. And then the sheer quality of your units really shines through. Though the Chosen Spearmen, interesting choice. 2 of them didn't really pay off. 27 and 37 kills. 1 XP rank over there. Anyway, thank you so much, Erlich, for the replay. We'll hopefully have a couple more for you guys very soon. I'm going to be doing a couple more today. One more with Erlich from the Sith clan, also with up against Klucky from the Sith clan as well. So an all Sith affair. So stay tuned for that one. This is Jujubear signing out. Peace.